if a progressive agenda, this is back to Monkismo, if a progressive agenda is supported by a huge majority, how does a well-funded corporate Dem win a primary?
Yeah, they win because you're not competing in a level playing field. They win because they control the rules of the institutions. And they control the rules of the primary, and it is ludicrous that that they are allowed to do that. But that is essentially. But they have reiterated their ability to do that in court last year. They said that they have zero obligation. Democratic Party said in court, in open court, in the DNC fraud lawsuit, that they have no obligation to their voters, that they can pick their candidates in back rooms if they want. And so essentially, and they also admitted, that they are a private corporation, and so very much like my example with Walmart, they're a private corporation. They set the rules of their party. They can change them in an instant, and they often do, and in order to block progressives. And so just like you can't take over a corporation and vote out the leadership there, I mean, you can't do the same inside the Democratic Party. And so that's how it is. The chokehold is at the primary level, is preventing any progressives from making it through the primary. And when you think of this from the perspective of the oligarchs, the people who, as you pointed out, fund both parties. I mean, it's often the same billionaires, it's the same corporations that fund both parties. And so every year they bet on both horses and they never lose.
So what would you say to somebody, because we all see the same arguments all the time. Yeah. What do you say to somebody who's like, well, you got to start at the local level, man. You got to start like at the local level. You got to just get these progressives at the base level infiltrating the Democratic Party. And that's how you got to do it. You got to go from the ground up. What do you say to that person?
I would say that the assumption that they're operating from, and the one that I would like them to challenge, is the idea that those people who you're electing at the local level are going to remain as progressive as they were when you elected them. And so what I described is that the minute they enter that kind of conveyor belt of the Democratic Party, the minute they enter what is a private corporation of a party, that it begins to change their own perspectives. It forces them to make compromises, in order to achieve power inside that party. And so it's not a question of like, oh, we're going to slowly elect people at the local level and they're going to rise up, and we're going to build a bench of progressives. The Democratic Party is actively undermining how progressive those people are. And history tells us that it's not a question, again, of personal integrity. It's a question of systems and structural incentives to survive and certainly to rise in the Democratic Party. You have to begin to accept and compromise certain corporate principles, and so that's what I would say.
So why not just do that with a whole new party? Why not just do that exact thing you just described?
Yeah,
hypothetical person we're both arguing with. Why not do that, but with a whole new party, with a whole new structure? Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.